YouTube, how's it going? Frogs Angels is back, and I got power rankings. Playoff power rankings. This is what's going to happen. We're going to rank the 4 teams that just got eliminated. We're going to rank them by how they played in the divisional round. We're going to rank them on how their season was. Then we're going to get into the 4 teams remaining, and I'm going to give keys to winning the Super Bowl for all 4 of those teams. Also, later tonight, we have straight-up picks for the conference championships with Frogs Angels members. We also got score predictions tomorrow. We got mock drafts updated all the time. Live streams on Friday. Lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff on our Twitter, too. As you can see at the top right, Frogs_Angels. There's actually a poll being held on there and on our YouTube for if we want to change the name or not. We kind of toss that out. Do we change the name to be more fitting for the channel? So you guys vote for that. We're leaving that up to you guys. Go ahead and vote. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter. Link in the description. Be much appreciated. Moving on. Let's show the 4 teams that were just eliminated. So I got 5 through 8 based off the entire season, and 5 through 8 based off the divisional round. For the entire season, clearly the Chargers were the best out of the 4. There's really no argument there, I don't think. Cowboys and Colts can go either way. The Colts did beat the Cowboys, but that's not what it's about by ranking. The Cowboys had a pretty good season, for the Colts too, pretty impressive as well for the young talent that they have. But I gave the edge to the Cowboys. And 8th was the Eagles. If Nick Foles would have started the whole year, this is probably much different. They may be in the playoffs still. Divisional round, other than the Eagles played the best. They put up a fight with the Saints. They could have won that game. They could have moved on. Cowboys, they were pretty weak in the run game, but other than that, they put up a fight with the Rams. Colts and Chargers, pretty much in the same boat there. Reason the Colts are ahead of the Chargers because I kind of expected the Chiefs to win that one. I was pretty confident about that. The Chargers, I picked the Patriots and I was pretty confident about it, but there was a thought that the Chargers could win that game, and I knew they were a damn good team. They just didn't show up, So they really, the entire season versus the divisional round is the same thing, except for 5 and 8 are swapped in both of them, obviously, as you can see there. But the topic would be is if Nick Foles started the whole year, where would the Eagles be? Would they still be in the playoffs? They're very close to being in the playoffs anyways still, but yeah, it's a good debate. And what's came out recently is that Doug Peterson said they're going with Wentz for the future, which makes sense. I like Foles better right now, but you got to look at your future there. But it looks like Nick Foles is going to be going elsewhere. Can't wait to see where he goes. We'll be talking about that during the offseason, predicting all the free agents, the big ones. So can't wait for all those. But on the top 4 teams, and this is tough ranking these 4 teams, and I'm going to go over keys to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl. Rams at number 4. They looked pretty darn good against the Cowboys. I almost wanted to move up to 3, but we'll talk about why I didn't in a little bit. Keys to the Super Bowl win: keep running the ball and use the play action. Those 2 things were working. They were working wonders. They can run the ball. They got Todd Gurley, the best running back in football. C.J. Anderson was dominating, but mainly it's that offensive line. That's the best run-blocking offensive line in football, and the play action worked. Makes it easier for Goff. He hasn't been playing that great when he's under pressure. He hasn't been playing that great, but doesn't really need to. He plays pretty solid with the play action. That last play to pretty much ice the game where he ran 7-yard or on 3rd and 7 when he ran. Like that play a lot. Stick to plays like that. Running the ball is what they do best. It will run the clock and should keep it a close game. When you're running the clock and you're running the ball, while running the ball, it keeps the game close, most likely. So I like that. It's going to go down to the end, no matter who they're playing. So keep doing that. Don't go away from what's working. We've seen McVay do that during the year. You got to go away from what was working. Maybe he was saving, the true stuff for the playoffs. Makes sense. We'll see if he does it. If they get down by 2+ scores, it takes their best game out, which means they can't really run the ball anymore. They're going to put pressure on Goff. So if they get down 2+ scores, the game might be over, honestly. Scoring first and running the clock is huge. Huge for the Rams. So scoring first, they got the lead. They can continue to run the ball. They can continue to run the clock, and they have advantage. That all makes sense. They're at number 4. Should be a good game against the Saints. The Saints are going to come at 3. They didn't play all that great, but they still won and played a good Eagles team. So that's why I could have moved them down to 4 because the Rams were a little more impressive. Moved the Rams to 3. But I had the Saints at 2 previously, so I just couldn't move them down 2 spots for winning a game. Makes no sense. Key to winning the Super Bowl is throw downfield. It may sound funny because the first play of the game they threw downfield and it was a pick. But not sure why the Saints don't do more of this, because I think it works. And when it doesn't work, like even when it's picked or when it's incomplete or tipped by the DB, it's so damn close to being a big play. Breeze just needs another half a yard or a yard under it. I think the more times you try this, I think the better. You don't want to throw picks that can blow the game, but I think they're capable of putting up a lot of points with this, So I think taking more shots makes a lot of sense. I think Kamara and Ingram can get the ball a little more too. I talked about this in the recap. It was kind of weird how the Saints, I thought the Saints could have thrown the ball downfield more. At the same time, I thought Kamara could have got the ball more. Same time, I thought Ingram could have got the ball more. So it was a little strange that they didn't really have enough of anything. It was weird. But if they do all this, they play their game, which we saw during the regular season, really not towards the end of it, then they can put teams away early. So, and the defenses left aren't the best of defenses. The Eagles might be the better defense than any of the teams remaining. So the downfield stuff should work. We'll see if they do it. We'll see if they risk it, because Drew Brees, maybe the arm strength isn't what it used to be, but it's right there. It's right there. Number 2 is going to be the Patriots. Key to a Super Bowl win. The coaching staff they'll have the game plan. We know that. Best of all time. Brady must be on his game and must make sure to not deflate any balls. The graphics guy thinks he's funny putting that in there, but he needs to be on his game, because we've seen him this year be off his game. People doubted him. I didn't really doubt him because it's playoff time, But they're away. They're playing a pretty good pass rush. He's got to be on his game. If he's having one of those off games, they are not going to win. So I guess that's the obvious key. But that's why I put the real key is for their defense to continue playing like they were against the Chargers. The pressure was great. The blitzes were great. And gang tackles stood out to me. The tackling was pretty poor this year, but it seemed like one-on-one miss, and then somebody would make a tackle or the guy would be gone. So they're really playing as a team. The blitz calls, the pressure was all great. Interior, the outside pressure, all of it was great, and that's against a good Chargers team. So if they can do that, they can go far. But all this has to come together. Moving on to the Chiefs. Can't wait for both these games. This AFC Championship game is just, for some reason, interests me a little more, but I can't wait for both. The Chiefs, number 1 still. They were the whole way. Key to the Super Bowl win. No secret, the offense is the main strength. That's obvious. 2 games left, and they can't be off their game once. So it could happen. We've seen it happen plenty of times in the NFL. They have to be on their game here. The real key is their pass rush needs to keep it up, and the coaching staff can't put teams away. Pass rush has been key. In the last game, they don't get enough credit. They don't get enough credit against a good Colts offensive line. D Ford's elite. Chris Jones is great. Justin Houston's good. He's healthy. They got some playmakers. They can get after the quarterback, and that changes the game. We all know that. Coaching staff can't let up. We've seen it in the past. We've seen it this year against the Chargers. I think they learned their lesson, so I don't think it's going to happen. If they have a lead, put the team away. That's the key there. I think the offense will be on their game, but they have to stay consistent. There's only 2 games left, so we'll see what happens. But I'm sticking with the Chiefs at my number 1 right there. Saints were always my number 2. They moved down to 3 just because they could have lost that game. It's not really a good excuse to move them down, but at the same time, the Patriots were very, very dominant. I thought the Rams were pretty dominant too, especially in that run game. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. My original, before the playoffs started, my Super Bowl pick was the Chiefs over the Saints. We'll see if I stick to that in tonight's pick'ems. Kind of back and forth on it, to be honest. We'll see what the other guys have to pick. I'm very curious to see what the other guys have to pick. I have no idea who they're picking. And then I got score predictions tomorrow. Yeah, lots of good stuff. Draft stuff coming up. Off-season stuff. We'll do rankings for based off the NFL season. Lots of good stuff here. So can't wait. Free agency predictions. Again, go to our Twitter. Help us decide if we should change the name to be more fitting or if we should keep Frogs Angels. I know a lot of people are used to this name, like that, like seeing that little frog logo maybe. I don't know. So, it's up to you guys, really. Let us know. But that's going to do it for this one. Subscriber goal, we're getting real close. Say it every time. We're getting closer every time. So it's 10K. If you haven't subscribed yet, please help us get there. Clicking the like button will be much, much appreciated as well. Stay tuned for tonight's straight up picks with the boys. That's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.